The sound of shattering wax usually meant cleaning up after your own mistake, but when the billionaire's favorite statue hit the polished marble, it sounded like a coffin breaking open. Olivia froze, her pulse hammering in her throat as she stared at the shattered torso of Silas Vane's prized business partner figure. But as the fractured pieces settled, it wasn't solid wax she saw inside the hollow chest cavity. It was a uniform. A blue Maid's uniform. Maya's uniform. The one her sister wore the day she disappeared into this mansion 6 months ago. "Careful with my collection, Olivia." A voice, smooth as silk and cold as a morgue, drifted from the shadows. Silas Vane emerged into the amber light of the Hall of Icons, his eyes tracking her like a predator sizing up prey. Olivia's hand flew to the fabric, her fingers closing around something hard, a flash drive, sticky with something dark and dried. For half a year, she had played the invisible servant, mopping floors and polishing glass, all while hunting for a ghost. Now the ghost was screaming from inside the art. Silas didn't just collect statues, he collected souls. And Olivia had just cracked open his most protected secret. Silicon Valley, California, November 14th, 2024. Olivia Chen was dusting the restricted Hall of Icons on her 3rd month as a maid at Silas Vane's glass and steel fortress, when her cleaning cart rolled over a wet patch on the marble. The collision sent her stumbling into one of his wax figures. The figure was life-size. A man in a tailored suit, salt and pepper hair, disturbingly lifelike skin. When Olivia crashed into it, the entire statue toppled forward and shattered against the floor. She froze. The torso had split open like a broken egg. Inside the hollow rib cage, where there should have been solid wax, there was a vacuum-sealed cavity. And inside that cavity was fabric. Blue fabric. Olivia's hands started shaking. She dropped to her knees, pulled at the material. It unfolded in her grip. A maid's uniform. The exact uniform she was wearing now. But this one had a name tag pinned to the collar. Maya Chen. Personal assistant. Olivia's vision tunneled. She couldn't breathe. That name, that uniform. She looked closer, digging through the cavity. Something hard. A flash drive, stained with something rust brown and crusted at the edges. She picked it up, turned it over. Etched into the metal casing were 2 words. Eternity Project. Olivia dropped the drive. Her chest seized. Maya. Her younger sister, who took a job as Silas Vane's personal assistant 6 months ago, who texted her the first week saying the pay was incredible, the work was strange, the billionaire never slept, who stopped answering her phone after 2 weeks, who never came home. Before we continue, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to listen to this story. If you're comfortable, let me know in the comments where you're listening from and what drew you to Cold Trail today. Your engagement helps us continue bringing these untold stories to light. Now, let me tell you what happened to Maya Chen. Maya Chen vanished on May 22nd, 2024. She was 26 years old, a computer science graduate with expertise in neural networks and AI ethics. She left her apartment in San Jose one Monday morning for her new job with tech billionaire Silas Vane, never came back. Olivia filed a missing person report after 3 days. The police investigated, interviewed Silas, found nothing. No body, no evidence, no digital trail. Vane claimed Maya quit after 1 week, said she seemed unstable, handed over a resignation letter that Olivia knew her sister would never write. The case went cold after 2 months. For 6 months, Olivia planned. She faked her resume, applied as a maid, got hired, scrubbed toilets, and polished floors while mapping every room, every hallway, every locked door in Silas Vane's fortress. She searched for anything, a laptop, a file, a trace of her sister, and now she was kneeling in the Hall of Icons, staring at Maya's uniform sealed inside a wax statue, holding a flash drive covered in what she was terrified was blood. Olivia heard footsteps. Behind her, echoing through the marble hall, leather shoes on stone. Slow, deliberate. They stopped. She tried to stand. Her legs wouldn't move. She tried to breathe. Her lungs had locked shut. The footsteps resumed. Closer. They stopped directly behind her. Silas Vane stood there. 40-something, perfect skin, steel gray eyes that reflected nothing. He looked at Olivia on the floor, at the shattered statue, at the uniform clutched in her hands, at the flash drive. He smiled. "I was wondering when you'd find that," he said softly. "Your sister was brilliant, but she asked too many questions." He tilted his head, studying Olivia the way a scientist studies a specimen under glass. "You, on the other hand, you've been so patient, so thorough. I think you'll make an excellent addition to the collection." Olivia's mind screamed at her to run, but her body had become stone. Because behind Silas, arranged in perfect rows throughout the hall, were dozens of wax figures. Men and women in various poses, various outfits, various expressions. She had dusted them every week, admired their craftsmanship, their disturbingly warm skin, their glass eyes that seemed to track her movements. And now, as her vision adjusted to the dim amber light, she saw it. One of the figures, a young woman in a business suit, had just blinked. The West Wing toilets required bleach, vinegar, and 20 minutes on your knees. Olivia had the routine memorized. 6:15 a.m. Before Silas woke, before the house staff arrived, before the security cameras in the public areas activated on their daytime rotation, she scrubbed in silence, her movements mechanical, her mind elsewhere. Always elsewhere. Maya used to hate cleaning. When they were kids sharing a studio apartment, Maya would bribe Olivia with coffee and croissants to do her share of the dishes. Said her hands were meant for coding, not scrubbing. Olivia smiled at the memory, then felt the smile crack and die on her face. 6 months ago, Maya had called her from this mansion, excited, breathless. The job was everything she'd hoped for: cutting-edge AI research, direct access to Silas Vane, a salary that made her student loans look like pocket change. But there was something else in her voice, something underneath the excitement. Uncertainty, maybe fear. "He doesn't sleep, Liv," Maya had whispered. "I've been here 5 days, and I've never seen him sleep. And the statues. God, the statues everywhere. They watch you, then quit," Olivia had said. "Come home." "I can't. Not yet. I found something in the server logs. Something wrong. I just need a few more days to..." The line went dead. Maya never called back, never texted, never came home. Olivia rinsed the toilet brush, her knuckles white around the handle. She'd replayed that conversation 10,000 times. The click of the disconnection. The silence that followed. The 3 days of unanswered calls before she drove to the mansion and found it locked, gated, unreachable. The police report that went nowhere. The resignation letter Silas's lawyer produced, Maya's signature forged so perfectly even Olivia had doubted herself for a moment. She stood, knees aching, and moved to the next bathroom. The marble hallways stretched in every direction, sterile and cold. Somewhere in this labyrinth was the truth. She just had to survive long enough to find it. By 7 a.m., she was dusting the library. By 8, she was polishing the kitchen counters while the chef prepared Silas's breakfast: egg white omelet, black coffee, vitamin supplements arranged in a silver dish. By 9, she was invisible. Just another piece of the household machinery. Exactly how she needed to be. She caught her reflection in a polished chrome cabinet. Uniform pressed. Hair pulled back, eyes empty. Maya's face stared back at her. Same cheekbones. Same jawline. Sisters. She wondered if Silas had noticed. She wondered if that's why he'd hired her. She wondered if she was already on the list. Olivia waited until 2:13 a.m. The house settled into its deepest silence around 2. Security made their rounds at 1:30. Silas retreated to his private wing at midnight. The servers in the basement hummed their white noise lullaby, constant and hypnotic. She sat on the floor of her quarters, a converted storage room near the kitchen, with the flash drive balanced on her palm. The dried residue on the casing had flaked off under her fingernail. She'd tested it with hydrogen peroxide earlier. It frothed, pink. Blood. Maya's blood. Her laptop was a decade old, bought used, untraceable. She'd disabled the webcam, taped over the microphone, rerouted through 3 VPN layers. Paranoid. But paranoia kept you breathing in a house like this. The drive took 15 seconds to decrypt. Amateur encryption. Maya had wanted someone to find this. The folder opened. Blueprints. Schematics. Technical documents stamped with classifications Olivia didn't recognize. She scrolled, her eyes struggling to process the terminology. Neural mapping. Consciousness substrate transfer. Synaptic replication protocols. And at the center of it all, a project designation that made her blood freeze. Eternity. She clicked on a video file. Grainy footage, night vision green. A laboratory. A woman strapped to a surgical chair. Electrodes covering her skull like a metal crown. The woman was unconscious, or sedated. Beside her stood a wax figure, empty and waiting. Silas's voice came through the speakers. Clinical. Detached. Subject 14. Neural mapping at 92%. Preparing for consciousness extraction and substrate transfer. Physical vessel preservation commencing in T-30 seconds. The woman's eyes snapped open. She screamed. The audio cut out, but Olivia could see her mouth forming words, her body convulsing against the restraints. Technicians in white coats swarmed around her. One of them held a syringe. The woman went limp. The wax figure beside her began to glow from within. Faint, pulsing, like something alive was being poured into an empty shell. Olivia slammed the laptop shut. Her hands shook. Her stomach heaved. She ran to her sink and vomited until there was nothing left. When she could breathe again, she opened the laptop, forced herself to keep reading. Subject logs. 14 failed attempts. 14 bodies. 14 statues, now decorating Silas's mansion. She scrolled to the final entry. Subject 15, Maya Chen. Neural compatibility, 99.7%. Status, mapping complete. Transfer pending. Below it, a photograph. Maya, unconscious on the same surgical chair. Electrodes, restraints, and beside her, an empty wax figure with Maya's face, waiting to be filled. The file was dated 3 days ago. Olivia's breath caught. 3 days. Maya was still alive. Still savable. Still. Footsteps in the hallway. Slow. Deliberate. Stopping outside her door. She killed the laptop screen. Shoved the flash drive under her mattress. Crawled into bed and pulled the covers to her chin, forcing her breathing to slow, her body to relax. The door didn't open, but she could feel someone standing there, watching, waiting. After 5 minutes, the footsteps retreated. Olivia didn't sleep. The gala was Silas's quarterly ritual. Tech moguls, venture capitalists, politicians who smiled with too many teeth. They arrived in black cars with tinted windows, dressed in designer suits and dresses that cost more than Olivia's annual salary. She served champagne on silver trays, invisible in her uniform, a ghost drifting through conversations about market disruptions and neural interface patents. The Hall of Icons had been transformed. Ambient lighting painted the wax figures in shades of gold and amber. Each statue positioned like art in a gallery, spotlights illuminating their frozen faces. The guests circulated, admiring them, commenting on the craftsmanship. One woman, a tech journalist with a crystalline laugh, reached out to touch a figure's cheek. "Remarkable," she breathed. "They almost look alive." "They are alive," Silas said smoothly, appearing beside her with a wineglass. "In a sense, art is the preservation of a moment, a person, an idea. These are my attempt at permanence. My legacy." The journalist smiled. Didn't understand. None of them understood. Olivia moved through the crowd, refilling glasses, collecting empty plates. Her eyes tracked every statue, searching. 14 failed subjects, 14 prisoners trapped in wax coffins, and somewhere among them, Maya. She paused beside a figure near the east wall. A young man in a lab coat, his expression frozen in something between surprise and terror. She dusted this statue 100 times, never noticed the name tag on his coat. Dr. James Kim, neuroscientist, reported missing 2 years ago. Her tray trembled. She steadied it, kept moving. Silas was holding court near the centerpiece, a woman in an evening gown, her wax skin shimmering under the lights. He gestured to her as he spoke. "This is Isabel, my first successful long-term preservation. 3 years and counting. Not a crack. Not a flaw." A venture capitalist leaned closer. "What's your secret?" "Patience," Silas said, "and the right raw materials." Olivia's eyes locked on Isabel's face, studied it. The high cheekbones, the slight asymmetry of the lips, the beauty mark above the left eyebrow. And then, the eyes moved. Just a flicker. A shift from left to right, tracking Olivia's position. The pupils dilated, focused. The lips didn't move, but Olivia could see it. the microscopic tension of someone trying to scream. The tray slipped from Olivia's hands. Crystals shattered on marble. Champagne pooled across the floor. Every head turned. Silas smiled at her. "Careful, Olivia. You've been so clumsy lately." She couldn't speak, couldn't breathe, couldn't look away from Isabel's eyes. Alive, aware, trapped. "Clean it up," Silas said softly, "before someone gets hurt." The flash drive held more than blueprints. Olivia found the folder at 3 a.m., buried under layers of encrypted directories. Personal logs, audio files, video recordings, all of them labeled with dates and timestamps, all of them Maya. She clicked the first file. Maya's voice filled her headphones, bright and familiar and alive. Day 1. "I think I'm going to like it here. Silas is brilliant. Eccentric, but brilliant. He talks about consciousness like it's code, like we're just software running on meat hardware." Olivia's throat closed. She clicked the next file. Day 5. "Something's off. Silas records everything I say. Every meeting, every conversation, even casual remarks in the hallway. His assistant says it's for quality assurance. I don't buy it." The files progressed. Maya's voice growing uncertain. Worried. Afraid. Day 11. "I found the servers. He's not just recording me. He's cataloging me. Every inflection, every pause, every verbal tick. There's a program running personality matrix reconstruction. He's building a model of me." "Why? Why?" Olivia clicked faster. The dates blurred together. Day 14. I confronted him. He smiled, said he was preserving me, that I was special, that my neural architecture was perfect. I don't know what that means. "I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm packing tonight." I'm static, then silence. The next file was video, not Maya recording herself. Security footage. Maya in the laboratory, unconscious on the surgical chair. Silas standing over her, speaking to someone off camera. His voice, clinical, detached. The personality matrix is complete, 99.7% accuracy. She'll resist the transfer initially, they always do, but once the substrate integration stabilizes, the original consciousness will fade. The wax vessel will contain her perfectly, no decay, no deterioration. Just Maya. Forever. Olivia watched Silas lean down, stroke Maya's hair like she was a doll. "You'll thank me," he whispered. "Once you understand. Death is obsolete. Flesh is temporary. But this," he gestured to the empty wax figure beside her, "this is eternal." Olivia ripped the headphones off. Her hands shook with rage. He wasn't just trapping people, he was stealing them, copying them, playing God with their minds while their bodies rotted inside wax coffins. She opened a new file, the most recent, audio only. Maya's voice, but different. Flatter. Rehearsed. "Hello, Olivia. If you're hearing this, I'm sorry. He made me record it. He said if I cooperated, he'd let you go. He's lying. Run, please, run." The recording cut off. Olivia didn't run. Silas's study was off limits. 3 locks. Biometric scanner. Camera pointed at the door. But the ventilation shaft above the hallway led directly into the room's false ceiling. Olivia had mapped it 2 months ago. She moved through the ductwork at 4 a.m. Her body pressed flat against cold metal. Below her, through the air vent, she could see Silas's desk. Empty. The room dark except for the glow of multiple monitors. She lowered herself down, landing silently on the carpet. Her hands moved fast. Audio bug behind the bookshelf. Keylogger attached to the computer's USB port. Camera the size of a shirt button wedged into the crown molding. The monitors displayed medical scans, MRIs, PET scans, blood work, all of them labeled with the same patient name, Silas Vane. Olivia leaned closer. The scans showed catastrophic cellular degradation, organ failure, systemic collapse. Notes in the margins. Vessel rejection accelerating. Estimated viability, 18 days. Substrate transfer urgency, critical. Her blood went cold. Silas wasn't just preserving people, he was wearing them. This body, the one walking around, hosting galas, stroking Maya's hair, wasn't the original Silas Vane. It was someone else. Someone stolen. And it was dying. Again, the door clicked open behind her. Olivia spun. Silas stood in the doorway, backlit by hallway light. His expression was calm, almost amused. "Looking for something?" he asked. Her hand flew to the letter opener on his desk. "Stay back." He stepped inside, closed the door, locked it. "You're persistent, just like Maya. That's why I chose you both. Sisters. Compatible neural architectures. Genetic similarity increases substrate stability." He smiled. "You were always the backup plan, Olivia. In case Maya's transfer failed. Where is she?" Olivia's voice shook. "Where's my sister?" "Downstairs," Silas said. "Waiting. I was going to give you more time, let you settle in. But you've accelerated the timeline." He took another step forward. "Don't worry. The procedure is nearly painless, and you'll be beautiful. Forever." Olivia drove the letter opener toward his throat. He caught her wrist, twisted. The blade clattered to the floor. His grip was iron, inhuman, enhanced. "Sedation it is," he said softly. Everything went black. Olivia woke to the hum of machinery and the smell of antiseptic. Her head pounded, her wrists burned. She tried to move, couldn't. Restraints. Leather straps across her chest, arms, legs. She was on a surgical chair. In a laboratory. Surrounded by monitors and equipment she didn't recognize. And beside her, arranged in neat rows, were the wax figures. Dozens of them. All facing her. All watching with dead glass eyes. No. Not dead. Aware. A technician in a white coat moved past her field of vision. Young. Nervous. He checked an IV drip connected to her arm. Adjusted something on a monitor. Didn't look at her face. "Please," Olivia whispered. Her voice was raw. "Please, help me." The technician flinched. Kept working. Said nothing. Footsteps approached, heavy, measured. Silas appeared above her, his face upside down from her perspective. He smiled. "You're awake. Good. The process works better when you're conscious. The neural patterns are more vivid." "Where's Maya?" "Right here." Silas stepped aside, gestured. In the chair beside Olivia was a wax figure. Perfect. lifelike, wearing Maya's face. And inside the translucent wax, Olivia could see the faint outline of a body, preserved, suspended. The eyes were closed, but the chest rose and fell with mechanical precision, not breathing, but simulated breathing. A terrible mockery of life. "She's beautiful, isn't she?" Silas touched the figure's cheek. The transfer took perfectly. Her consciousness is fully integrated into the substrate. She's at peace now. Eternal. She's a prisoner, Olivia spat. "She's art." The technician tapped Silas's shoulder, whispered something. Silas nodded, turned back to Olivia. "Your neural mapping is complete. We can begin the transfer whenever you're ready." "I'll never be ready." "I know." Silas picked up a syringe. "That's what makes it interesting." The technician's radio crackled, a voice distorted through static. "Sir, we have a situation. Basement level. The vault door." Alarms shrieked through the laboratory. Red emergency lights strobed. The technician stumbled backward, fumbling with his radio. Silas's expression darkened. He turned to the monitors. Security feeds showed the elevator shaft. The doors forced open. Someone moving through the corridor. Someone who shouldn't be there. Olivia twisted her head, trying to see. The figure on the security feed was small, female, moving with purpose, wearing a blue maid's uniform. Maya. The figure wasn't Maya. Not entirely. As it moved closer to the camera, Olivia saw the distortions. The left arm hung at an unnatural angle. The face was Maya's, but wrong features, slightly misaligned. Skin with a waxy sheen that caught the red emergency lights. One eye focused forward, while the other drifted lazily to the side. "Prototype 15C, Silas muttered, his jaw tight. "I thought we deactivated that unit." The figure lurched through the corridor, movements jerky and mechanical. Behind it, more shapes emerged from the shadows. A man in a lab coat, his head twisted backward. A woman in a business suit, her limbs too long, joints bending in impossible directions. A security guard, with half his face melted like candle wax. Olivia's stomach heaved. "What are they?" "Failures," Silas said coldly. "Early attempts, before we perfected the substrate integration process. The consciousness transfer was incomplete. They're fragments, ghosts, trapped in broken shells." He turned to the technician. "Seal the vault. Now." But the prototypes moved faster than the technician could react. They slammed against the laboratory door, fists pounding, voices rising in a discordant chorus of screams and moans and fractured words. "Help me, please. Stop, it hurts." The door buckled. Metal shrieked. The locks shattered. The prototypes flooded in. Silas backed away, his composure finally cracking. The Maya thing led the charge, moving with predatory focus. It grabbed the technician by the throat, lifted him off the ground. His legs kicked uselessly as his face turned purple. "Release him," Silas commanded. The prototype tilted its head, that misaligned face studying Silas with hollow recognition. When it spoke, the voice was Maya's layered, echoing, "Wrong. You made us. Like this. Trapped us. Used us. Now, you pay." It dropped the technician. He crumpled, gasping. The prototype turned its broken gaze to Olivia, stepped closer, reached out with trembling fingers. "Sister," it whispered, "free us." Then it collapsed, systems failing, body going rigid. But the others kept coming. A tide of failed experiments, animated by rage and pain and the desperate need for revenge. They surrounded Silas, grabbed him, pulled him down. He screamed not in pain, but in fury. "I gave you immortality. I saved you from death." The prototypes didn't listen. They tore at him with broken hands. Olivia wrenched against her restraints. The leather creaked. One of the buckles loosened. She pulled harder, ignoring the burn, the blood trickling down her wrist. The strap snapped free. Olivia freed her other arm, then her legs. She stumbled off the chair, legs weak, head spinning. The prototypes were too focused on Silas to notice her. She ran to Maya's wax figure, pressed her hands against the smooth surface. It was warm, alive. "Maya," she whispered. "I'm here." The figure's eyes snapped open. Brown eyes, Maya's eyes, conscious, aware, terrified. Silas's voice cut through the chaos. He'd fought free of the prototypes, his suit torn, face bleeding. But he was smiling. "You think breaking the wax will free her? Her consciousness is in the substrate, Olivia. The body is just storage. You destroy that figure, you kill her permanently." Olivia's hands froze. "But I'm offering you a choice," Silas continued, backing toward a control panel. "Join me. Willingly. I'll transfer you both into perfect vessels. You'll never age, never die, never be separated again. Sisters, together, forever. As your prisoners. As my legacy." His hand hovered over a red button. "Or I press this, and the entire vault floods with nerve gas. Everyone dies. The prototypes. The preserved subjects. Maya. You. All of it. Scorched earth." Olivia looked at her sister's wax-trapped face, saw the plea in those eyes. Then she looked at Silas, at the monster wearing someone else's skin. "You're already dead," she said. "You died years ago. Everything you are now is just theft." She grabbed a canister from the technician's cart. Industrial solvent, the same chemical used to prep the wax figures. Highly corrosive, highly flammable. "What are you doing?" Silas's voice pitched higher. Olivia smiled. "Scorched earth." She hurled the canister at the control panel. Sparks erupted. The solvent sprayed across the room, hitting the wax figures, melting them instantly. The preserved bodies inside began to emerge, gasping, screaming, alive. Alarms shrieked. Sprinklers activated. But the solvent was already spreading, eating through the wax shells, freeing the trapped victims. Silas lunged for her. Olivia ducked, grabbed another canister, smashed it against his chest. The solvent soaked through his shirt, burning skin. He screamed, stumbled back. "You don't understand," he choked. "I'm the future. I'm evolution." "You're a virus," Olivia said. "And I'm the cure." She shoved him toward the melting figures. The prototypes seized him, pulled him down into the spreading pool of solvent. His screams echoed as the chemical ate through synthetic skin, revealing the machinery underneath, the stolen body, the hollow shell. Olivia ran to Maya, carefully peeling away the melting wax, exposing her sister's real body. Maya gasped, her lungs inflating for the first time in months. Her eyes focused. "Liv? I've got you." The vault was collapsing. Freed victims stumbled toward exits. Prototypes shut down, their fractured programming failing. Olivia dragged Maya toward the elevator, her sister's weight heavy against her shoulder. "The server," Maya gasped. "His consciousness, still in the server. He'll just transfer to another body." Olivia stopped, looked back at the laboratory, at the massive server banks lining the walls, their lights blinking in steady rhythm. Silas's digital ghost, waiting to resurrect. She pulled the flash drive from her pocket, the same drive Maya had hidden in the wax figure. "You put something on here, didn't you? A failsafe." Maya smiled weakly. "A virus, tailored to his neural signature. I just never got to upload it." They stumbled to the main terminal. Maya's fingers moved across the keyboard, muscle memory taking over despite her weakened state. Code scrolled across the screen. Complex. Beautiful. Deadly. "This will erase him," Maya said. "Completely. Every backup, every fragment, like he never existed." "Do it." Maya hit enter. The servers screamed. Not mechanically, but a sound that seemed almost human, a wail of rage and terror and denial. The lights flickered, strobed, died. One by one, the server banks went dark. Silas's voice echoed from the speakers, distorted and fragmenting. "No, I was eternal. I was..." Silence. The vault shuddered. Structural supports groaned. Olivia grabbed Maya, pulled her into the elevator. They rode up as the basement collapsed beneath them, burying the laboratory, the prototypes, the nightmare forever. They emerged into the mansion's ground floor. Dawn light streamed through the windows. Outside, sirens wailed. Someone had triggered the emergency response. Police. Ambulances. Fire trucks. Freed victims stumbled through the halls, blinking in sunlight they hadn't seen in years. Some wept, some laughed, some just stood there, unable to process freedom. Olivia and Maya collapsed on the front steps, holding each other. Breathing. "It's over," Olivia whispered. Maya nodded against her shoulder. "It's over." Behind them, the mansion burned. If this story shook you the way it shook me, I need you to do something right now. Not later. Right now. Hit that subscribe button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment telling me what you think happened in that mansion. Because stories like Maya's don't get told unless we force them into the light. There are too many missing people, too many cold cases, too many families still searching. Your engagement, your comment, your share, your subscription, that's what keeps us digging. That's what keeps us asking the questions everyone else is too afraid to ask. So don't just listen and walk away. Take action. Let's make sure no one else ends up preserved in someone's twisted collection. Subscribe now. Share this story. And let me know in the comments. What would you do if you found your sister sealed inside a statue?